Welcome to another podcast of the current situation, Manchester United. Manchester United has a game against Nottingham Forest at home. I believe it's tomorrow or it's on Sunday. I'm guessing it's either tomorrow or on Sunday. I can't recall right now, but it's one of those 2 days on the weekend. But yeah, we have our third game of the Premier League season in distance at Old Trafford. Now, here's the thing. I was just listening to Eric Ten Hag's press conference, and let me just say this, man. I know that as a manager, you don't want to give out information because you don't want to tell on yourself, as I would call it, you don't want to urinate on yourself. But that press conference Eric Ten Hag gave in his for the game against Nottingham Forest was ambiguous. I must state a few points. In relation to Mason Greenwood, he wasn't thorough or forthright with his stance on whether you would want to keep Mason Greenwood at the club despite the decision made for him to leave the club. But he was basically saying, like I said, I'm concentrating on the squad. We need to win, and that's what's important. He wasn't giving thorough. Again, I know that you don't want to tell on yourself. You don't want to give out information. You don't want to sound like a quack. Run about with your mouth, but at least, man, give some stance because again, the club didn't back Mason Greenwood. I'm not saying that they should back his behavior that he did to his girlfriend because they're still together, but I'm saying that the club didn't fully back the player in terms of how the situation was handled. It should have been handled better, and I must say this again. I'm not going to get deep into it because I covered this in my previous video. So check out my previous video and hear out the stats and how I thought the club came at the situation. I said that because of the woman's say and their stance on Mason Greenwood, and because of this, you could say societal pressure in terms of the fan base of Manchester United crumbled Richard Arnold and the club to make the decision for him to cut, to leave the premises of Manchester United. Because if it wasn't for the women's say, if it wasn't for the pressure, the high moral supporters talking about, oh, he needs to leave. He can't have this much at the club. Abusing women like that. They can't be endorsing this behavior. That was this, and they knew that if they kept Mason Greenwood, and I've said in my last video that it would create factions, difference of opinions, and I would even say internal warfare in terms of the Man United fans. Some fans want him to stay. I was in that kettle of fish, and some fans want him to leave. Now, how I came at it, I'm not going to stay long on this. How I came at it was that he deserves a second chance. Persons can be changed. He can go through rehabilitation. He can go sort out himself. He actually acknowledged that he was wrong. But the problem was that he wasn't going out there and backing his name and saying, oh, I didn't do this and that. He was talking about, well, I didn't do anything. I don't know why persons are talking about this and that. I didn't do that. So he didn't back himself fully, and neither did the club. But the point of it is that everything again, his press conference didn't come and say that he wanted to keep Mason Greenwood. Maybe he knew that he knew that. Listen, we are Manchester United supporters, and he knows that we Manchester United supporters have opinions of our own. We are very open-minded about Manchester United related issues and situations, and he probably knew that if he said that he would want to keep Mason Greenwood, that would have put him in hot water, in hot fire, and he didn't want to go in that hot water or fire. So what he basically said, he concentrate on the squad, working on the squad, which he should do anyway because he's the manager. But this was a question in relation to Mason Greenwood. Anyway, his next thing was talking about injuries. Yes, so Luke Shaw is injured, Mason Mount is injured, and of course Holland is injured. So that is three players that are injured. I think Luke Shaw is going to be. I think Luke Shaw is dropped because of his performance against Tottenham. I don't even think it's no injury. Well, if it's an injury, then it's an injury. But I believe my man's been dropped because of his diabolical performance against Tottenham away from home. That first goal shouldn't have scored. He allowed that first goal to score. He allowed the winger to go to the byline and get the cross in the box and whoever Ansar score it. That shouldn't have scored. Anyway, Mason Mount is injured. Again, if it's an injury, then it's an injury. It's a good thing in disguise because this virgin should not be starting in our midfield. End of story. He should not be starting in our midfield. So the injury, dare I say, to Luke Shaw and Mason Mount is a good thing. It's what do you call it? It's a good thing. Yeah, it's a good thing in yeah. Because we need to concentrate on the squad. We need players that can actually play to start. Marcy on the left hand side starting as the left back. Put that young boy in. If he started against Tottenham, that dude, that winger of Tottenham, that dude wouldn't have put the ball in the box. He wouldn't have put the ball in the box. Because he would get side tackle or something. As a clean side tackle, I would like to think. But Marcy would have put himself in there. You know. And Mason Mount being in sick bay, man, with his injury, man. Hey, man, that's a good thing, man. That's a good thing for midfield. And that relates, that brings me to Eric Ten Hag's. I don't even know how he said this in his press conference. My man's talking about, because one of the journalists asked me, Eric Ten Hag talking about the midfield. And he was saying that, you know, your midfield got overrun against Tottenham away from home. You know, they got open up like a woman with her legs open, man. What's up with that? You don't think the midfield should be worked out or something? And every time it's like, well, it's a clinical problem. It's a clinical problem, you know. The way you look at it, that's not the way it is. Nothing is not wrong with the midfield. It's the front, and it's the back. But the midfield, nothing is wrong with the midfield. Dude, Ray Charles can see that midfield. So, something is wrong with that midfield. And that statement shows a stubborn tendency of Eric Ten Hag. That he's not going to change this midfield. No, there's news that Mason Mount is injured. But dude, man, anybody can see that midfield is not balanced, man. That midfield is not balanced. And if he sticks with that midfield, we're going to get cooked. We're going to get cooked with... Dude, we're going to get cooked. And I don't even want us to get cooked. But if he sticks with this mindset that there is nothing wrong with the midfield, then he's going to be sacked by probably December, if before December. This midfield is not this is not a proper midfield. This is an improper midfield. You know when you did improper fractions back in high school, if you did maths and I hate maths. But it's a very construction. This is a very improper midfield, but this is not a balanced midfield. And a person asked about Casemiro's match fitness, health, not health, but if he is fit, and he was playing it down. He was saying, oh yeah, you know, something there is fit, man. He's fit, dude. Casemiro may look fit now, he may be fit now, but if you continue with this midfield, the players that are the personnel that is starting alongside him in that midfield is going to look dire. It's going to look poor, and it is dire and poor because of the individuals you're starting in there. And if you go stick with Mason Mount, if you go stick with Bruno Fernandes in that midfield alongside with Casemiro, that midfield is going to get cooked. It's going to get cooked. Period. So if he sticks with this stubborn mentality that there is nothing that needs to be changed in our midfield, again, some person may come from the devil's advocate side by saying that, you know, you said it yourself, bro. He doesn't want to fully come out with you know, he doesn't want to tell on himself, or he doesn't want to acknowledge that he was wrong. Maybe he actually knows he is wrong, but he's not going to say it in the press conference because he doesn't want to look weak, and you know, he's going to change some things behind closed doors. Dude, my man is not 16, man. He's not 16. He's not even 26. If a man knows he's wrong, he's going to say he's wrong. He's going to say he's wrong. No, of course, there are big egos in management, and you want to come across as a confident person where you don't want to acknowledge your weaknesses. I get that. But still, man, there's a way and not a way to do things. If persons asked him about this midfield, he could have said that, where our squad in progress, he has actually said that his responsibility is that we win. And he's right. He's the manager. Of course, that's his responsibility to win. But it's winning the right way. We don't want to be winning Mourinho way like this is 2018. Trying to get points and stick to second place. Right now, he should be implementing his system on the squad. If players don't mesh in the system, go kick them out. You're the manager. You don't adapt to the players. This is your second season, and you have gotten a decent amount of players that you needed. Now, some of those signings are questionable, but those are the players that you went for. Anthony for 90 mil or whatever. Lisandro Martinez looking like a good signing. He hasn't been at his best really. Who else? Did he sign Varane? No, he didn't sign Varane. You got Mason Mount, man, bro. These are his signings, you didn't need to sign Mason Mount. You had Bruno Fernandes for that role already. And again, you're playing... See, I don't know if my man is trying to play FIFA or something. I know in FIFA, like in the midfield, you're trying to play two attacking midfielders. You have Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes that do the pressing, and at the back, the base of the midfield, you have Casemiro. Dude, they can get away with that on FIFA, but this is real life. This is not just real life. This is football. This is not just real life and football. This is the Premier League. You can't be making mistakes like that in Premier League. Pep Guardiola can only get away with that. Because I see the midfield that Pep Guardiola started away from home and at home. And that midfield has carved sides wide open. I don't care if you're playing a low block. My man played Gundogan, Bernardo Silva and De Bruyne in that midfield. There is no defensive midfield in that midfield. But my man played that midfield, Pep Guardiola. And that side still trash sides. They probably concede a goal or something, but they weren't getting carved open. Because there's a system in place to accommodate the players. So when they don't have the ball, Pep Guardiola knows who's going to drop back and who's going to stay. And who's going to, go forward. So when they get the ball back, they know who to go in place. And this Gundogan is not no defensive midfielder. He's not no holder. He's not no slide tackler. But this Virgin plays the base of the midfield with Bernardo Silva and De Bruyne. And he did the same thing with David Silva. And that is a very attacking base midfield. Now, is it balanced? That's an argument. That's a debate. But the point is that Pep Guardiola knows how to accommodate his squad with that midfield. Everton doesn't have that in his depth. So he can't be playing a midfield of Bruno Fernandes or Mason Mount with Casemiro. He's not at that pinnacle level as Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola can get away with that. He knows what he's doing. So the essence is that we need a combative midfielder to partnership with Casemiro. And yes, Bruno Fernandes can do everything up. And Bruno Fernandes needs to be working on himself anyway. Has he been trash for the last 2 games? Yes, he hasn't been at his best for the last 2 games. And he needs to work on himself because he's the captain. So yeah, man. If the midfield needs to be worked on, that is, dude, again, Ray Charles and Steve Warner can see that the midfield needs to be worked on. Everybody can see that. This is not nothing new. Eric Ten Hag saw our midfield getting cooked against Wolves. He saw that our midfield got cooked against Tottenham. So if my man is of the notion that nothing is wrong with this midfield and it's the front and the back. Yes, we didn't score goals. Yes, we need to score goals. Yes, we need goal scorers to get on the goal scoring sheet. But the essence of that the starting 11, as I've said a lot, the midfield is the pinnacle and the epicenter of the starting 11. Without the midfield, you can't score goals, at least creating any. And without the midfield, you cannot back the back four itself. The midfield is what makes the side balance. creating. That's why you have the box to box, you know. Box to box is from your defensive box to the offensive box. That is the box to box. If you don't have no box to box, that midfield will get carved open. If you don't have any cover number 6 to screen the back four like a Rodri, a Sergio Busquets, you know, that type of defensive midfielder, you go get carved open, or a Matic. And if you don't have the creative number 10 to add some style, some flairity, some creativity in that midfield, then where you go get a goals from? That is the essence of the midfield in a nutshell. That is the essence of a midfield. A proper balanced midfield. You know why Real Madrid, not to go on a digression, but you know why Real Madrid Galacticos didn't work out? Because the moment them go sell Makelele and them go get some Galactico named David Beckham to accommodate, them had Zidane, Figo and Beckham. That is not a balanced midfield. And they got cooked in that midfield. Yes, they had Steve McManaman, but he wasn't a starter in that midfield. He wasn't a starter. And he got cooked in that midfield. And Figo had to play in a more central position, not as a wing as he was back at Sporting Lisbon and at Barcelona. So this goes way back, and it just goes to show that a significant player like Makelele is needed in a midfield. You cannot have... Dude, why do you think England's midfield didn't work out? Gerrard, Lampard and Scholes couldn't work out. You need a base man at the midfield. All those three are world class in their own right. But that midfield was not balanced. They can't have that imbalanced midfield. And person wonder why England didn't win anything significant or win anything at all. It's because the midfield of England, even after that era of Scholes, Lampard and Gerrard, it wasn't balanced, man. It wasn't balanced. And that goes to show that the midfield is a significant position on the football pitch. So if everything is done playing, it's like nothing is not wrong with the midfield, his ego is going to lead to his detriment and downfall. And he knows that. He knows that. His days are numbered right now. My man is on fraud watch, as some person would say. He's on fraud watch. He's watching Eric Ten Hag. He's watching if Eric Ten Hag will come out to this loophole that he's in right now of this sinking ship. Because if he stays on a sinking ship, he's going to get fired. The midfield needs to be worked on. Eat your humble pie, brethren. And acknowledge, maybe you don't have to acknowledge in the press conference because you don't want to show that side of you. But behind closed doors, in training, when you're at it desk, you're evaluating who will start tomorrow, whether it's on Sunday or tomorrow, against Nottingham Forrest. Dude, man, hey, Nottingham Forrest almost got relegated last season, yeah? But it's the Premier League. Anything can happen in the Premier League season. I remember when we got trashed. Yes, we got trashed by Sheffield United. It was in 20th place in the 2020-2021 season when there was no fans in the stadium. And we finished, what, third place or second place that season? But we still got trashed at home. At home. By Sheffield United. We got trashed by Sheffield United, who was in 20th place, and they got relegated that following season. That same season, I should say. Now, rocket science. If the midfield is in place, listen, man, get Armabat. We have what? 6 more days. Less than a week left. Get this brethren in our midfield. Start him with Casemiro, and then you can put Bruno Fernandes as number 10. But Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount, they should be competing with one another. And just because my man is captain doesn't mean that his status in starting in the starting level is written in stone where it cannot be changed. Yes, if he's not performing, he should be benched. Which leads to the other question. If he's benched, who is going to be our following acting captain? We have Varane in place. Well, I wouldn't mind giving it Arnana, because Arnana seems like he's captain material, but he's a fresh fruit. So I'm gonna make him, get used to the squad and stuff, because he seems like a hothead a bit. But I'm pretty sure that comes with a lot of passion. He cares. Varane is potential captain if Bruno Fernandes get dropped. And who else? Casemiro possibly. Casemiro possibly. So it goes to show that Bruno Fernandes always captain doesn't mean that he's going to be starting all games. Because Bruno Fernandes is not the best quality number 10 that we have in our squad. You know, he's just not. He's just not. So wrapping up this video, we have a game against Nottingham Forest, and yes, there will be changes in midfield, which some person may say that's forced because Mason Mount is injured. Well, like I said, that's a blessing in disguise, man. We need this bridging not to start in our midfield. Not beside Casemiro anyway. Along with Bruno Fernandes anyway. So yeah, if we're not careful, Nottingham Forest can actually do one on us tomorrow or on Sunday, whenever we're playing against them at Old Trafford. Leave your comments down below in the comment section. Comments down below in the comment section. Elanga will be playing against us tomorrow. Yes, he'll be playing against us tomorrow. Persons have said that he's going to score against us. Dude, if this brethren go score against us, I remember when we sold Welbeck. And when Welbeck go score against us in the FA Cup of 2014-2015 season. You know how much United supporters didn't like this brethren? They said in Moyes' season, person wanted Welbeck to leave, although he was getting his goals here and there. They wanted this brethren to be sold. And when he go get sold to Arsenal, and we played against Arsenal in the FA Cup, Welbeck for Arsenal go score against us at home. At home against us at Old Trafford. And that was like a back shot to our head because we wanted this brethren out. We didn't think that he would lead the line for us, you know, in the long term. So he was sold. And Arsenal go make a deal all time. Go get a trick in the Champions League, and he was knocking goals for Arsenal. I'm going to score against us in the FA Cup, knocking us out of the FA Cup. So if Elanga go score against us, then bro, certain things are just written in the stars, man. You know, it is what it is, I guess, but we should be preventing that tomorrow. So yeah, with that being said, starting level. Onana in the goal. I believe Wan-Bissaka will be starting tomorrow. Lisandro Martinez, is he injured? If he's not injured, I'm going with Lindelof, but I like to think that he'll be starting tomorrow regardless. So Lisandro Martinez tomorrow with Varane and Malacia at left back. In the midfield, here is the big deal, and I've been seeing this for a good while now. Casemiro will be starting. Scott McTominay will be starting tomorrow, and Bruno Fernandes will be starting tomorrow. That's the midfield I'm going with. Casemiro, Scott McTominay, and Bruno Fernandes. Now, of course, Scott McTominay is not the best option to start with Casemiro, but he's actually better than starting Mason Mount aside with Mason Mount, because Mason Mount don't have discipline. Again, like I said, he's gonna drift upwards and start pressing. He's not gonna give Casemiro any cover. He's not that type of player. Put Scott McTominay in there. He'll have some height too. And the front three, Rashford has been getting criticisms lately, and rightly so. Rashford on the left hand side. I'm going with Anthony. He's going to stick with Anthony on the right hand side. I know this. He's going to stick with Anthony on the right hand side, and I would put. Is Martial back? I'll put Martial up top. Yep. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So run it back. Onana, Wan-Bissaka, Lisandro Martinez, Varane, Malacia, Casemiro, Scott McTominay, Bruno Fernandes, Rashford on the left. And I just go say Rashford, I'm not be specific. Rashford on the left hand side, Anthony on the right hand side, Anthony Martial through the middle. That is my starting level. Leave your starting levels down in the comment section. My prediction is that we win the game. Not to be on my high horses, but I'm going to go with a 3-0 victory. Yeah, I'm going to go with a 3-0 victory. Yeah. I mean, some people may say, man, this bridging is delusional. Wait, you winning 3-0? Hey, that's my gut instinct, though. I'm not going to, I'm not going to sink down my gut instinct and say we're going to win probably 2-1 or whatever. I believe we're going to win 3-0. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It is what it is. That's what I'm going with, man. Leave your comments and predictions down below in the comment section. Like and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, 3-0 victory for Manchester United tomorrow. I'll be doing a match reaction afterwards. You can see for that one. I'm out.